Hey YouTube, NJS1 Dallas here. So I was going to do a review, and I know there's been many, but all the reviews that I used to see about it were just kind of general opinions. But when I was looking at bikes, I wanted to hear a little bit more about bikes. So if you guys are considering buying a first bike especially, this is a 2008 Ninja 250R. This is my first bike, and wanted to kind of walk through what to expect if you're looking at this bike, because you're probably going to pick it up off, eBay, Craigslist, something off of something used is basically what I would really recommend for a first bike, because between washing it or just something silly, you're probably going to drop it at some point. So you might as well let somebody else have dropped it, and you won't feel bad about it when you're only spending $1,000, $2,000, on a bike instead of buying your dream bike and then messing it up. That being said, I have not dropped this bike, but at the same time, that's kind of just my overall mentality. So the bike itself, so it is a 249cc bike, which makes it insurance wise extremely inexpensive. I have moved all my liability minimums up in the state of Texas, and I'm still only paying $77 per year. Gets about 60 miles to the gallon. I'm actually right now getting a little over that, surprisingly, but I also am not just stomping on it every time I get on it. But this one I purchased used, 08, with about 8,500 miles on it, and got a deal on it for about $1,200. So if you're considering a bike like this, just keep looking. You'll see a lot of them out there for 22 to 28 to even 3,000. But found a guy who really needed a part with this one, and just was able to. I had to drive out to the country and have a buddy to go get it with me, but it was definitely worth every penny. The exhaust system on it is a little quiet. I actually prefer a little bit louder bike from a safety perspective. So we'll be ordering an aftermarket exhaust. I think I'm going to go with a Musari. Just something that's a little bit louder, gives me a little bit of comfort level when I'm riding. But it's got enough pick up and go. From 0 to 70, you can definitely get there very quickly. Several of my friends have leader bikes or like a Ducati 1100 Monster, and I'm able to keep up with them riding around town no problem whatsoever. That being said, if they stomp on it from a light, I've got to catch up. But it's not a situation where they're not enjoying riding with me. They actually enjoy riding with me because now I can ride with them. So if you're riding and you're getting a bike because your friends have bikes and they all have leader bikes or a 600 6R or something like that, don't feel like that's the bike you have to get to start with. The thing I'll say about riding in 250 is that this is a non-ABS model, so it does have independent brake and clutch, independent front and rear brakes. I actually prefer that because I like to learn how the braking system is going to work on a two-wheeled vehicle, but I'm kind of a control freak, so that's just the way it works. But the great thing is because the way this bike is geared and its power to weight ratio, when you're in a turn, there's really not enough power that if you downshift lower than you should, you're not going to get yourself in trouble when you drop the clutch out. Where on a racing bike, if you're if you drop down to a lower gear and you let it go, you can really end up throwing yourself. You can low side or sometimes even high side a bike. And there's just a lot of comfort with this bike. I really never feel like I'm out of control. It's still a ton of fun, especially as somebody's first bike. Now I understand if you grew up on bikes and you've been riding a 600R or some type of a leader bike, race bike, this is going to be a big step down. It does only weigh 330 pounds, so it's a lot of fun to kind of throw around in the corners. To just set up cones and go through slaloming and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. And even my friends that ride this bike always talk about how it's a fun to ride bike. I haven't ridden a Honda 250, but my understanding is that this is geared much quicker to drive much quicker, I should say, which to me that was important. I'm a bigger guy, and we'll get into this in a later review, but everybody else who reviews these bikes tend to be little, and no offense, but tend to be littler guys, you know, like 5'5", 150 and stuff like that. And I'm a big dude. I'm 6'2", I'm 250, and this is my first bike. And no problems. Highway is, we'll get into that in another review as well. But if you're undersized, you know, under my size, highway is a non-issue whatsoever for you. I mean, just look at other reviews. People are doing 100 miles an hour on this bike. And as a first bike, I wouldn't recommend you even doing anything like that until you're really comfortable 6 months in. If you're getting a new bike, one of the things that they'll tell you is that your first accident is probably going to occur in the first 6 months of riding the bike. So that being said, be smart, wear gear. I don't care if you're just riding around the corner. Suit up, be smart. It's better to sweat than to bleed. That also being said, don't be a squid. You know, ride within your means. Don't get overconfident when you shouldn't. Respect the bike. Yeah, so if there's things that you guys want to know specifically about the bike, first gear is a little sluggish. Second and third have a tremendous amount of power band. No problems getting there. Sixth is very sluggish, so I try to stay in fourth or fifth, even into getting onto highway speeds. Sixth I rarely use unless I'm just cruising and using it for gas mileage. If you're looking for a bike that you do get to shift through all the gears, just as you're cruising through town, it feels quicker than it is because of that as well, because of the way it's geared. It's a lot of fun. Really don't have anything bad to say about this. I've given it a couple walkthroughs with mechanics and gotten it inspected and everything like that since I purchased it. It's just rock solid bike. I had to get a new front tire, and I'll do a review on that as well. I got a Pirelli Diablo Rosso 2s on the front, and I'll be reviewing the back as well that was already on there. It's fairly new from the previous owner, so I'll be changing that out soon. Yeah, stay tuned, subscribe. I'll continue to walk you through riding bikes, and anything that you guys want me to cover, you know, let me know and I'll do my best.